Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Joey Plays and Build, and today this is episode 9 of Prehistoric Adventure, my Jurassic Park build here in Jurassic World Evolution 2. The last video we completed the swamp traction with multiple species of dinosaurs. I'm really proud of this build, possibly the best build that I build in this park. However, like as many builders have ever thought when they're building their parks, there's some builds from our past that just doesn't feel right anymore. It used to be right before, but it just doesn't feel right now. And I'm talking about back in episode 2, I built a playground area for the kids called Camp Cretaceous. And even then, building that, I was still a little iffy of it. But now, now I'm progress into the park. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. And I'm talking about this area right over here. This area, the playground area, and yeah, we don't have any playgrounds, nor we don't even have any kids AI as one of the guests. So it was kind of a little pointless to build this little section of my park where it just doesn't benefit anything. And just looking it back, yeah, I want to get rid of it. I also got rid of the indoor predator house. So this is used to be have a an aviary, but I took that all out at the last episode, and this is what I want to focus on. So as much as I want to start the hybrid build, that's the newest recent DLC. I want to get rid of this first. Oh, and we have somebody starving here. Okay, hold up. Before we get into the demolition of this area, let me give my Monolophosaurus something to chew on before we relocate them to a new environment. So here's what the plan's gonna be. I'm gonna go into demolish, and I'm just gonna wreck everything. Everything in here is going to be gone. So let's just get rid of it. Anyways, the my whole plan, since I have two enclosures here, the Ankylosaurus and Kentrosaurus here, I want to expand the habitat and make it a little walkthrough exhibit for our guests. So we just combine these entrance, and then when you go transition into a more more dinosaurs too yet to come. But I don't want to focus on that just yet. We're gonna focus on building here. So yeah, we're just gonna start on redecorating everything and here. This is what I got so far. Yeah, I took out the playground. We don't need that anymore. There's a couple of changes that I added with this exhibit. Well, first and foremost, it's much bigger, and now there's more room for our dinosaurs roam. But I also added a couple of things: the viewing dome, and I also added a little pathway so you could see each way you can see a dinosaur using the log as a barricade, which is really nice. I really like this type of features as well. And we also have added some dinosaurs, like the more ankylosaurus. This is the 2001 Ankylosaurus. And we also added a new species to our park, which is the Raptor. Now, I tested out with smaller dinosaurs, and they can go past through the logs, which is why I add the rocks and the planters, so that way these sneaky Oviraptors would not try to get past through here. But giant dinosaurs like the Ankylosaurus, they cannot fit through that gap. So if you want to make a log barricade or a fence, yeah, it works with giant dinosaurs, but not smaller dinosaurs. Now, as for the Kentrosaurus, yeah, we also add the base Kentrosaurus. This is they're basically the same species, but they're different size variants. I wish we have more of this in other dinosaurs because this is really nice. Granted, the Pierce Kentrosaurus is from the show Camp Cretaceous, which is why it's much bigger than the actual Kentrosaurus in the game. But still, it's really a nice touch and more variety into our dinosaurs. You know what I mean? So yeah, so you go up here, and this is where, a little resting area and a little for the guests to eat and also see the dinosaurs into the viewing dome. Really not much to add on here, but yeah, it's not a playground anymore. And yeah, I had more space, and I already like to add more space into my park just in case if we do have more DLC or extra content down the line. The game is not dead yet, so we might expect more stuff happening in the game. So I like to leave a little bit of space. But this is not what we are focusing on today's video. But then again, we still have to work on this, and this is the what I want to focus on today's video. This is the speed build that we're gonna do. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to arrange every. Uh-oh, hold up, Monolophosaurus. Oh wait, okay. I was like, where's my Scorpius Rex? But yeah, so we're gonna change all of this, and I think I have a vision of what I wanted. Oh, wait, before we get into that, let's tranquilize all the dinosaurs that are in here. So that way, they will not be in the way. Okay, now I'm going to add a path right around the habitat. Okay, so yeah, there it is. There's my layout. I'm still gonna keep this hill. This is going to be the Scorpius Rex. So here's what I'm gonna be thinking. I'm gonna highlight using sand. And what I want right in this area is a walkway for our guests. And they'll be walking, well, of course, there's path everywhere. They're gonna walk through here. They're gonna see the Monolophosaurus, Baryonyx, and then the Scorpius Rex. I gotta make sure the size is okay too. And what I'm also thinking is since in zoos they tend to separate the guests with the dinosaurs, especially with carnivores. So with making it to be realistically, is that a word? I'm going to lower the terrain just a little bit, just right here. We're going to flatten. I think that's good enough. Yeah, flatten the area. So that way we get a good view of not only the dinosaurs, but to keep the guests and the dinosaurs in safe precautions. You know what I mean? I know this is just nothing in the game, but I like to keep things a little bit realistic. I'm also thinking about some amenities. So let's see if it fits. Yes, it fits perfectly. That is just wonderful. Hold up, what is this? Is this a restaurant? Okay, that's a drink. So we don't need a drink. We could add a restaurant here. That is perfect. That fits real. Let's fit like a what is the saying? Fit like a glove. I want a shopping area too, so maybe I could just try to find a space right here. Maybe that's a. I don't know if that's really good. Let's see. Let's squeeze. I also need some what do I call? Some attractions too. Maybe have one right here. Maybe I could just expand that a little bit. Have a little seating areas for our guests. Since this is a huge habitat, I don't think the Scorpius Rex really doesn't need that much, to say the least. But knowing these hybrids, they need so much space. It's ridiculous. It is. So there you go. We could have a little area here for them to sit and stuff. So with this area, we could put some viewing domes or whatever, just place them somewhere so we could get a better view of the dinosaurs and all of that stuff. But yeah, that is the layout that I have so far. And we'll just continue with the process of this build. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Maybe we could add a pathway right in the middle of the habitat. Maybe it's possibly like a little seating area for our guests to watch our dinosaurs. We have a restaurant right nearby, so I think it is very kind of appropriate, right, to have a seating area for our guests to watch our dinosaurs while they're eating. I don't know. We'll see how it goes right now. I might have to scrap that idea. I don't know. I'm not feeling it at the moment. But till then, we'll just focusing on the Baryonyx and the Monolophosaurus. I decided to keep the two species dinosaurs to live at one area. Hopefully, they will not have any conflict with each other. I know the Monolophosaurus is a small medium sized dinosaur, and the Baryonyx is a medium sized carnivore. So I don't think the Monolophosaurus would panic towards the Baryonyx, but here we're here to test it out and see how it goes. But anyways, let's just go with the habitat build. Using the rocks as a form of barricade. So I'm gonna line them all up. Don't mind my dogs if you could hear it in the background. And for safety precaution, using these planters to barricade the upper level, so that way guests would not like try to fall off into the habitat. Again, I know it's nothing in game, but as a realistic standpoint, having a double fence just to protect the guests from jumping over the habitat. And I want a mountain in this habitat. I feel like it's a little bit flat, so we're just gonna raise this corner up just a bit. That's what I have so far. I think it's very big for two species of dinosaur. My main concern is the amount of water for the baryonyx. I feel like that's just a little bit too small for it. But we'll see how it goes. But knowing them being an aquatic dinosaur, they do need amount of water. But we'll see. Now for the foliage, I want to use the same foliage that I had before, which is the taiga foliage, the redwood gigantic trees. I feel like it really fits in this theme, so we're gonna use as much as that. We're also gonna use some fiber and other of the little shrubs, but try to stay away from the tropical foliage. But we'll see once we get progress into their habitat build. This is really concerning. As you can see right there, it kind of buffered a little bit. There's a little bit of lag, but the game just tried to boot itself up again. I have no idea. Maybe we're at that point where the limitations is try to squeeze itself. So yeah, I didn't want to use the tropical tree, the tropical foliage, but I still think the habitat is a little bit empty. So I'm gonna add a little bit of tropical foliage, but it doesn't distract the habitat. The redwood trees are still the main focus of the build, but if this is going to be the outcome of my park build, I think I have to slow down with the decorations a little bit because I don't want this park to be lagging. Maybe that's just one occurrence, but who knows at this point of the build of my park. But hopefully that lag is not gonna interrupt the whole game. And there you go. The good news is that the Monolophosaurus and the Baryonyx do get along just as fine. Now, there's some problems with the habitat that I have experienced a little lag. The Baryonyx isn't happy with the size of the water, which I kind of see that coming. But other than that, the Monolophosaurus seems they like the habitat. The forest is fine. The space is really good. It's a shame that I couldn't use as much of these taiga foliage as I wanted, but I felt like it's a good amount nonetheless. Other than that, the habitat is good enough for the two species of dinosaurs. They ain't panicking whatsoever. I think it's because the Monolophosaurus isn't a small carnivore, but more of a small to medium sized carnivore. Other than that, they live very well together, and I'm happy for that. Okay, so next we're going to go and build the Scorpius Rex. Okay, the first thing I'm gonna do is to take away this little thing that I built earlier. I wasn't feeling it, and what I wanted to do is to put a log viewing attraction here instead, which is really cool because now it seems like, two separate enclosure into one big enclosure. Now technically it's still they're still separated, but without the path or any fencing, it seems like it's all one big one enclosure, and right in the middle is a log viewing attraction. So that's what we're gonna play with for right now, and I'm going to place it right about there. So that way you could see the Scorpius Rex on the other side and the Baryonyx Monolophosaurus on the left side. I really love the log attraction. I by far the best attraction in the game. It is, you could make it into a barricade, you could make it into one enclosure and then build another enclosure right behind it. There's so many ways that you could do with the log attraction. It is a wonderful attraction, and I'm so glad that it's in this game. Here's something I don't really add as often in my parks are fences. And I felt like, this is a Scorpius Rex we're talking about, a deadly hybrid dinosaur. It makes sense for safe precaution, to keep them barricaded with an actual electric fence. I know I'm trying to keep it a little bit of realism here. I know it doesn't affect anything in the game. I could make it a little prettier, but I felt like, a dinosaur such as Scorpius Rex do need a barricade like a fence. Now that we got the layout and the fencing out of the way, it's time to build the habitat. I'm still gonna make how I made it back on episode 2 of this series. And basically what I'm going to use is this temper rock number 5, and I'm gonna arrange it in a specific type of way. That way it looks like some sort of a temple. So I'm making it upward at the moment, and right in the center is gonna be their meat sword. So it looked like it's some sort of ritual sacrifice for this hybrid dinosaur. Yeah, so that's what is going to look like for this build. So thinking it as a will, it could be like Stonehenge or a temple. I did build something like this in Triassic Trials. That's back in episode 1. Just playing with the rocks a little bit. And yeah, we're gonna play with more of the rocks and a little bit of more of the foliage. And I think that's about it for this little build. And we'll bring in our Scorpius Rex. There you go. I'm done finally. I really actually like the layout that I had before. Granted, I do hope that we do get some sort of indoor habitat, whatever, like a reptile house, or instead of a reptile, like a dinosaur house or whatever, in the future of the game. The aviary is a good substitution for that, but it just doesn't have the life into it, if you know what I mean. Go watch episode 2, you know what I mean. There's no life into it. But I really like how it is. I mean, with the fencing right here, it does seems like you're going to an indoor area. I don't know if there's any guests coming by. Oh yeah, they are. Nope, that was just a shadow. My bad. But yeah, you go through here, and this is where you're gonna walk through the area, and you're going to see some of the dinosaurs. There's a viewing log. There's some seating arrangements. So yeah, if you wanna, I still kept this. It's just not in the center of the habitat anymore. We also have Mr. DNA back to educate us with some of the dinosaurs here. Let's go to first person to see how the view of it all. And yeah, it seems like it's still a nice view. There's our Scorpius Rex just chilling with their own little water. Again, the whole vision right here was supposed to be redwood, just like the first build that I built in here. But since I don't want to risk with the limitations of the game, it's really unfortunate how we could have different type of foliage in other biomes, such as we have the tropical, obviously, but the alpine, the taiga, and all of that stuff. But for the brush foliage, it's only the tropical, and there's no alpine or taiga, whatever. They don't have it there, and I'm hoping in the next update or something that we could have that as a brush. So that way, it doesn't, the vision of having like some sort of a taiga forest in a tropical environment, that's still a thing in the game. Um, um, I, I'm going to guess it's not perfect. We're almost there. It's 22%. I just need a little bit of more forest, as I would have thought, but yeah, I don't want to add any more. Yeah, I mean, right here, this could be a lovely to add some foliage here. Other than that, 22%, that's not really that bad. Yeah, so it does look like a little shrine for the Scorpius Rex, like their little pride rock land. I really like it. A little stream here, and more of the seating areas for I guess to watch. Other than that, let's go to first person capture mode really quick. But other than that, it looks like I'm really satisfied with this one compared to the one that I had before. Really enjoyed this really build. Um, again, uh, yeah, there's no guess, which is a shame. But maybe once I start to progress through here, maybe we're gonna have some guests coming. So this area is going to be the aviary area. This is for our flying reptiles. I don't know if they're gonna start this on the next episode because I still want to do the hybrid attraction. That was the new DLC that just came out, and I still haven't touched it except for the Spinal Raptor was the only dinosaur that I have built a habitat with. Oh, speaking of Spinal Raptor, let's go back to the swamp attraction here. So I added more foliage. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't feeling with the Spinal Raptor, the Spinosaurus habitat. I felt like it wasn't there was no foliage. It's just bare bones of a habitat. But I add more foliage here now, and it seems more lush. And I felt like this is what a Spinosaurus would live in an environment, a lush, dense forest. So yeah, if you see episode 7 and you didn't really like the Spinosaurus habitat, hopefully this would change your mind. It's more lush, more forest, more swampy in a way. But yeah, other than that, nothing really changed of any of my previous build. I still love how I did with this one. And this is the ongoing theme of how I build my parks. I enjoy one thing, but then I start to change my mind with, once I progress with the park, and then what I had before is just doesn't stick. For example, the Camp Cretaceous playground. It worked in the beginning. I was digging it a little bit, but it just didn't work out. Now I'm totally in love with it. I really like how it is how the layout is now. Let's see how our Tarbosaurus is doing. Pretty good, pretty good. Hello guys. Yeah, I can't believe that the DLC for the Tarbosaurus happened like 4 months ago. It's been a while. Still, to me, it's still recently new. Um, but yeah, so this is episode 9 already. So we actually did a little redone with the Scorpius Rex and the Baryonyx Monolophosaurus habitat. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen on the next episode because, well, if you know, this is the week Planet Zoo is going to drop on console, so I'm going to play a lot in that game. I might have to take a break on YouTube just so I could get the management on Planet Zoo. I know it's an entirely different game. The layout is different, the buttons different, everything is different. So I might have to take a break. I'm probably not gonna upload a Planet Zoo video as of yet until I start to get the hang of it. But it is gonna feature on this channel. As for Jurassic World Evolution 2, I'm still gonna upload videos here and there. I just don't know when it's gonna come out, so I don't have a planned schedule as of yet. But it is the series is still continuing, and the game is still running smoothly. I don't have any lag, except for that one incident. But other than that, it still feels a little bit fine. But let's go back to the entrance. I have multiple entrances, by the way, so we're not gonna stay in this area as my sign off as for long. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video. This is episode 9 of Prehistoric Adventure. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Maybe you guys have an inspiration. But other than that, please do take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.